We're hitting the road once again this week to find the most amazing people, places, and destinations we can find. I'm Travis Culver, and this is Love Where You Live. This week on Love Where You Live, Don from the Museum of Clean plays me a song with a toilet plunger. We hang out with Frank at Terminal Gravity Brewing and learn how beer is made.
In here we add the hops.
Okay.
And the hops will add bitterness.
And we take a ride on a hot air balloon and survive. Oh man, okay, so we just touched down a few minutes ago in a subdivision, which by the way, is a ride in and of itself. We are here with Bruce Patterson. Now Bruce, you may not recognize the face, but you probably recognize what he does because it's really hard to miss. Bruce is a hot air balloon pilot with Boise Hot Air. Every single balloon you see in the air takes an entire crew, an entire truck and trailer rig, the whole 9 yards. How big are these things? I think that's one of the things people don't grasp is the size.
This balloon in here.
Now is this the Desert Rose? Is that the one that's in here? Okay.
So it's 175,000 cubic feet.
Which seems enormous. How do we get our heads around that? What is that?
175,000 basketballs would fit in it if you turned it over.
Oh my gosh. And how tall is this one?
This one is 75 feet tall.
Okay, so just shy of 8 stories?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And 65 feet wide. The one you were in this morning.
Yeah.
90 feet high, 80 feet across.
9 stories.
9 stories.
Tall. So what are some of the misconceptions you think people get? Like when people come and they visit you for the first time, what are some of the things they say when they're all done?
The misconceptions are, where's your engine? Where's your propeller? How come you didn't start your engine and fly us around and circle the buildings around downtown? Mm-hmm. And that just, after 27 years, it still amazes me.
Yeah.
That question, because I get it every day.
So what is it that steers you then? For those that don't know.
The only thing that we have to steer us is going up and down.
Your altitude?
Yeah, you'll see balloons adjust their altitude up and down so that we can catch what are called steerage winds.
Okay, because you're at the whim of those currents.
Completely at the whim, just like this morning.
Right.
When both of our balloons were flying and we kept adjusting our altitude, and we kept turning in different directions.
That wasn't you.
That was Mother Nature turning us. But we were adjusting our altitude to get into those different winds.
Right, so you're adjusting your altitude to get into a wind that's going to steer you the direction you want to go,
correct?
Because there's no rudder. There's
rudder.
no jets aiming out the back of this thing. Like
no jets.
The jets that are on it, the furnaces, the burners,
right,
are aimed upwards, right?
They're aimed up, producing our heat.
And that's the other thing. I will say that's one of the things I had no idea about, ever. Never ridden on a hot air balloon. How hot and how loud that is. I mean, it's startlingly loud. I mean, once you're up in the air and you're not running them, it's so quiet and peaceful and amazing. But when those things kick on, you need to know or you're gonna jump, you know? How hot is each burner?
Each one is equivalent to 633 barbecues, each burner.
That's one heck of a July
We have
4th,
2 on
man.
board.
When you brought us down today, it was largely because the winds were so fast. You were concerned because of the area we were getting to. And so when you brought us down, you had to set us down, and even then, the balloon, it kind of has a mind of its own, doesn't it? It wants to
go, so today, because of the winds and we were moving a little fast, I have what's a chute on there, the parachute, up top it's a parachute. I can open that chute and let a lot of air out real quick.
To help keep it on the ground?
To help keep it on the ground. As you see, we bounced on the ground just one time, and we were stopped.
And that's another thing I think is really important is how safe this really is. Because I think sometimes there are folks, myself included, because I didn't used to like flying, like, oh my golly, you're up in this basket in a balloon. What if the balloon pops?
No way.
The balloon's not going to pop, right?
The balloon will not pop. You're safer than a car.
Why have you been doing this for so long? That's a long time in this day and age for anybody to stick with something.
Haven't got bored of it. I mean,
what keeps you coming back every day?
Sharing the love of flight with people. We take all kinds of people, and a lot of times people have an illness, or this is on their bucket list, or a little older, or something.
Oh wow!
We do a lot of charities. For being a small company. We donate to a lot of charities.
Yeah.
We go to schools and do presentations for the school kids.
So you're getting to help make little dreams come true and big dreams come
We
true.
we do a lot.
That's a shot in the arm.
And it just, when a balloon comes to life, the magic happens, and people just are fascinated because
Yeah.
every day is different. Every flight's different. I mean, over 27 years, I've seen a lot.
Well, it really is a magical experience. I mean, even just from, like you said, the balloons filling up, just that part itself is magical. Watching this thing come out of this giant blue bag that looks like a massive tent bag, and then it slowly inflates into this like gigantic. It almost reminds me of like the giant of kids' tales. You know, it's so much larger than life. It's like this magical thing that expands in front of you. You know, 9 stories high, and it was a killer experience.
We love doing this every day, and the worst part of the job is when we have to disappoint people.
Oh, yes.
And they think we're being mean.
Yeah.
And we will always choose safety. We'll never put our passengers, our crew, our pilots at risk.
I think that's what everybody wants to hear. First timers, returners, everybody. Thank you.
Thank
Bruce,
you so
for
much, guys,
having
for
us.
flying with us today.
So much fun. If you want to know more about these guys, visit lovewhereyoulivetv.com and search keyword Boise Hot Air. Oh man, okay, so we just touched down a few minutes ago in a subdivision, which by the way is a ride in and of itself, because sometimes you just have to put down where it's safe no matter what. It was awesome, it was peaceful, it was rowdy, all at the same time. What an amazing view of the Treasure Valley and a once in a lifetime way to fly. Believe it or not, I'm vacuuming. This might be what some might refer to as the very first Lazy Boy. This is actually a vacuum cleaner chair. How awesome is this? You'd never have to get up from the chair. You could watch football and help your wife clean. It's perfect. This was invented almost 100 years ago. In fact, I think a little over 100 years ago. And it is just one of many amazing attractions and one-of-a-kind things you will find at Don Aslet's Museum of Clean. Speaking about that, this is Don right here. Don, thank you so much for having us.
You look good in that chair, man.
I know. I can rock the chair. Huh?
You're right, it's 110 years old. It's
110 years old, and you let me sit in it. Thank you.
You did
Which is
well.
really cool. There's the patent on the wall, which shows you kind of like the idea behind this thing. But the question I have to ask you, why a museum of clean? Because first off, I notice it's not called a cleaning museum. And I imagine that's on purpose. You called it the Museum of Clean. Why?
Well, clean isn't scrub, washy. Clean is a condition, not a process. Be clean. Clean language, clean teeth, clean glasses, clean helmets, clean lens on the camera. Anything clean is beautiful. So this whole museum is a dimension of clean, not a how to clean museum.
How in the world did you get into this?
I went to school at Idaho State University in 1953, graduated in 63, but I put an ad in the paper, Don Aslet, professional cleaner. I'd never even made my bed before. So I started doing carpets and everything else, hiring 1, 2, 3, 4
Was it to
students.
help put you through college?
Put us all the way through college,
Yeah.
got our degrees. So that's what I did, and then after I got out, I just stayed in the business. And our company, Varsity Facility Service, we contract all across the United States. We have several thousand employees, and we clean.
Right.
Everybody comes to this museum expecting a little tiny place that how to clean a bunch of old cleaning garbage. And you find we have an art gallery, we have a orchestra, we have a green thing. This museum has all sorts of things like that sell the value of clean.
After the break, Don shows me how he engineered musical instruments out of cleaning equipment and plays us a little song. Of course he does. Welcome back to Love Where You Live, a show highlighting people, places, and adventures. We're back at the Museum of Clean in Pocatello, Idaho. Owner and founder Don Aslet has a collection of over 400 vacuums. There's one vacuum that stands out from the rest.
But the big thing right here is this the thing you're seeing right here, this came out of England right here, this vacuum.
Is this really a horse-drawn vacuum?
It's 1 horsepower is all I know.
1 horsepower.
Anyway, they pulled this up up along the side of the building. It's 4,000 pounds and it's 120 years old. They started that 1 lung gasoline engine up. Your vacuum has maybe a 1/3 horsepower. Can you believe the horsepower that thing would have? Look at that.
Well, and it's got two are those
cylinders.
exposed pistons?
Yep, cylinders. Good job, Kev. I'm really impressed.
Wow. And so, and this is the capture
stuff.
capture container.
So 1902, this is the world's first vacuum. They would pull this vacuum up, and if you get a wide-angle shot of this, they'd pull this vacuum up in front of there, and you can imagine scare the crap out of the horses. Yeah. That motor started up in London.
Yeah.
They'd stick this in the window. Can you imagine the suction that thing would have? This will only happen to you once in your life. A vacuum bag. This is a toilet plunger. Mm-hmm. This is a mop. Mm-hmm. And these are vacuums, and this is. You had Happy Birthday played with the toilet plunger. Now you tell me where.
That's
where
never
on
happened.
the where
No,
you can bring your wife here and have this place.
Yes.
Happy.
That is indeed a first, ladies and gentlemen. I have never played Happy Birthday played for me on a plunger.
This thing went all over the world with me. This is my famous toilet suitcase. I had a print. It's under.
I love that you have a Delta airline connection on it.
Fragile. If you drop it, it'll spill on you. I did 4 million miles with this, Travis. This thing went all over the world with me.
So tell me why humor is so important to you, because obviously you have a sense of humor and you love involving it. Why?
Humor has never been connected with clean before, because we punish kids with clean. You know, the little, you snot
Go
behavior.
clean your room.
You snot, little snot. If you behave, you clean your room.
Yeah.
You know, so we've associated clean with have to. The janitor, you're the janitor of the school. So when you take something and shift, I did a lot of segments. When I used to do Regis segment in New York, everything we had was fun. I made everything funny, and it was all a laugh. And it disarmed. Good point. It disarmed people.
After the break, Don makes cleaning fun again for kids. Welcome back to Love Where You Live. We're with Don Aslett, the owner and founder of the Museum of Clean in Pocatello, Idaho. And besides being just a museum, he's got some amazing fun activities to get kids excited about having a clean life and a clean home. You have a lot of stuff for kids. Like you have an ark out there.
Yeah, come on, let's tell you what.
You have the ark, you have this kid planet.
We do have a lot for kids. For example, one thing we do with the kids.
Oh? You teach them how to hand wash?
No, these are clothespins. We didn't have handheld devices in my days, Travis. You had only a clothespin to play with.
Yeah.
And so you did games. Move it over here so he can get a picture of you. But the game we had years ago, you'd put this game right over here and you'd put the... see if you could drop that in there like that.
I feel like you're an old hat into this, man. I don't know. We're gonna see.
Oh, you play.
Oh, it bounced out.
Oh, you play for Boise State, I can see.
Well played, sir.
Okay, we had this kids cleaning world, a whole kids cleaning world that we have up here. The kids go up there and they go up there and they can play and they can clean. We teach the kids how to clean like this, and they can clean like that, and they just wet their pants. They can't believe how they clean. And then we show them how we clean at Idaho State. We show them how we clean. And you take a bow, and that's how.
Wow.
One year, Michael, we made animals out of cleaning gear. Everybody had to bring an animal, and you could kind of see the animals right here. I don't know if you can see my elephant over there, but all these things are made out of cleaning things. You see the elephant? And if you get a little over, you can see the spider up on the wall. You have to move a little further here to get a little spider up on the wall. Even this, the ark's going to be Noah's Ark. I don't know if it'll float, but it'll probably work.
You have sunk millions of dollars of your own money into this place.
What else at 80 years old? What else would you do with the money? Be fat and lay over in my Hawaii house and do nothing? I mean, I see people from all over the world. Look, I get the nicest people in the world come in to see this. I see people I don't have to move. I don't have to go. And you're changing how people live. You get 5 and 6 year old little kids coming here wiggling out of their skin with excitement. Remember when you were a little kid how excited you get?
Yeah.
To do that for someone else, Travis, what can you do more in life better than that that's more enjoyable? I don't know how old your children are, but
9 and 11.
They'd love it
here.
You wouldn't get them out of here.
No.
People ask me why I do it. I mean, what else would I do? I had companies, I got good health, I've had a good blessed life. So unless you're selfish, I've traveled enough. Who wants to go travel? Right. You're going to travel for fun. So basically this museum is a vehicle to change millions of lives, and it's working. Wow. We're getting people from all over the world who are coming back here. Okay, Travis, this is a janitor psychiatry couch. Lay down.
Okay, all right.
Lay down.
I mean, we've been with you for a while, Don. I'm learning to trust you. I hope it isn't misplaced.
Relax.
Okay.
All made out of vacuum. Put your hands in your stomach.
Okay.
Close your eyes.
Okay.
Wall of elevation tonight over potatoes, Museum of Clean. Travis, you're in my power. You'll clean your room every day when you first get up. You'll hang your clothes up and hang all things, sweep the floor and do the dishes. Do all out and clean out the car and do all that stuff and be smiling all your life about it and be happy to clean. Yes, you do. Good.
That's going to be my wife's favorite part of the show, right there, Tom. Well, thank you so much for having us, having us here at the Museum of Clean. If you want to know more about Don, his Museum of Clean, just visit lovewhereyoulivetv.com. After the break, we leave the kids at home and take a tour to Terminal Gravity Brewing in Enterprise, Oregon. Thanks for joining us on Love Where You Live. We're at Terminal Gravity Brewing in Enterprise, Oregon, learning how Frank takes it from the raw ingredients to beer at Terminal Gravity. After the malted barley arrives at the brewery, it is then weighed and crushed, where it gets mixed with water to start the beer process.
In here we mix the hot water and the crushed barley. And we get it, depending on the beer, the temperature will be a little high or a little low, but generally around 150 degrees Fahrenheit. But you have this enormous pile of oatmeal in here. Yeah. And then we open the valve down below us, and it comes down this chute, gravity fed. It just goes whoosh, and then there's an enormous pile of oatmeal down here, and we take the liquid off of that.
Okay.
These screens keep the solid chunks of grain above them, and the liquid flows through, and it gets pumped up into the kettle, which is here. Yeah. In here we add the hops.
Okay.
And the hops will add bitterness and certain flavors to the beer based on what kind of hops they are. And then when it's done, we open this valve here and it falls into the whirlpool. The liquid with all it's got the hops, which are solid vegetable matter. And if it comes in here, it gets going around in a circle, and then it'll come to a stop. And for reasons that I don't know the physics of, it's like a sandbar in a river or something like that. There will be a cone of solid material in the center. Those will be all the hops and stuff. Really? And then here, we let this sit until it settles. And then we start pumping it out. You can see the wort in the sight glass there is fairly bright, which is good. Then we pump it through this heat exchanger. And what we have here is a whole bunch of interleaved plates. And coming up this side, which is really hot, we have the boiling hot wort, and coming this other way we have cold water, and they pass each other, and you end up with cool wort, which is currently running at about, 78 degrees, which is a little warm, and hot water, which we reclaim for the next batch.
Oh, okay.
So we're pumping it back, and it's going into one of our fermenters, and it's actually this one back here. We already have put yeast in here, and the yeast will consume the sugar, the sweetness in that wort that you tasted, and it will turn that into alcohol and carbon dioxide.
How long does this take? Like you're pumping the wort in here, all that. How long until this becomes beer?
Until this particular kind becomes beer, it's going to be around 2 weeks. Now this beer isn't ready yet. It's like half ready, but this is the Cross-Eyed Cricket IPA.
Cross-Eyed Cricket. And this is non-carbonated. This will be different. Ooh, that's got grapefruit in it.
Yes.
That's really good. And that doesn't even have the carbonation in it yet.
Yeah, it'll be, when it's done, it'll be bright where you can look through it and all.
Right, bright and clear and all that.
They got it on tap, but yes. And then, well, there's some others too. Do you want to see them? Or?
Sure, I'd love to see them.
Okay,
I think
cool.
they're so bright and colorful. Now, which one is this?
This is our regular IPA. This is about a week away from being ready.
See, Michael will tell you, he's way more the IPA guy than me. I'm not a big fan of really hoppy stuff, but cold, that's pretty smooth. This ice cold, that's very smooth. I don't take second drinks of IPAs normally. It's very smooth. Kudos to you, sir. So, how did you get into brewing?
About 25 years ago, I started driving the delivery van for Pike Place Brewing Company in Seattle, Washington.
No way, I grew up near Seattle. So you've been brewing for 25 years?
Pretty much, yeah.
So this is your career. What do you love about
strangely enough.
Strangely enough. What do you love about it?
Well, I mean, I like beer.
Yeah.
I like making something. I like, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, this is what I did.
Right.
You know, I mean, this is what I did.
Yeah.
And
you get to hold it in your hands, see people enjoy it.
Yes.
Now I noticed too, you take a drink of every one, don't you? Is that how you check them and make sure they're going where you want them to go?
Yeah, kind of. You know, you could do this all with a super fancy lab, you know, and the only thing that matters is actually what it tastes like to you or to to the customers.
Right, right.
You know, they aren't going to put it through a mass spectrometer. You know, they're just going to have a sip.
They're going to taste it and decide if it tastes good or tastes awful.
Yes, I'm proud of the work I do.
Yeah. Well, 25 years in, you ought to be.
Well, yeah, one would hope.
Yeah, you got a lot of great stuff going on here. Great beer. I appreciate it, man. Thank you
You're
for the
quite
tour.
welcome.
Well, that's it for our time here at Terminal Gravity here in Enterprise, Oregon, and for this episode of Love Where You Live TV. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you get a chance to check out some of these places. And when you do, make sure you tell them you saw and heard about them right here on Love Where You Live. Until next time, I'm Travis Culver. This is Love Where You Live TV.